Alright, today we're talking about something that every serious LEGO investor pays attention to every single year: retirements. Because when a LEGO set retires, that's when the real magic usually begins. Scarcity kicks in, collectors start hunting, and prices, well, they often move pretty quickly. Last year our retirement picks performed incredibly well, with about 70% of them gaining at least 10% within weeks of retiring, and some already climbing 40 to 60% or more. So, today we're doing it again. We've analysed projected growth data, theme performance, minifigure value, collector demand, and long-term scarcity to identify what we believe are the 10 best LEGO investment sets retiring in 2026. These aren't just good sets. These are the ones that could define LEGO investing this year. Let's get into it. Before we jump into the list, it's worth explaining how these picks are made. Because this isn't just guesswork, there are a few key factors that historically drive LEGO investment performance. Firstly, minifigure value. Exclusive characters often end up driving a huge portion of aftermarket demand. Secondly, theme performance. Some themes simply outperform others year after year. Think Star Wars, Harry Potter, ideas and large icon sets. Thirdly, collector appeal and display presence. Big iconic builds that people want to display tend to age extremely well. And finally, scarcity and retirement timing. Once a set disappears from LEGO shelves, that's when collectors who missed out start chasing it. So, with all of that in mind, let's start with number 10. Starting off the list, we have LEGO Marvel Avengers Endgame Final Battle. Retail price is about $100, and it's actually one of the most accessible investment sets on the list. But don't underestimate it. This set includes 9 minifigures, including characters like Captain America, Iron Man Mark 85, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, Falcon, and Black Panther. That's a very strong lineup for an under $100 set. And the Avengers Endgame moment is one of the most iconic scenes in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because of that, projected growth sits around 41% in the first year after retirement. For budget investors, this could be one of the easiest wins of 2026. Next up is LEGO Icon's NASA Artemis Space Launch System. This one sits right in LEGO's sweet spot for adult collectors. It's a 3,600-piece build recreating NASA's Artemis rocket, complete with launch tower, detachable boosters, and the Orion capsule. Space-themed LEGO sets have a strong track record, especially those based on real historical missions. And the finished model stands over 27 inches tall, which gives it serious display presence. Projected first-year growth sits around 42%, which is very solid for a set in the $260 price range. Now we move into the big Star Wars money set, the Venator-class Republic Attack Cruiser. This is a 5,374-piece model measuring over 43 inches long. Massive. It represents the Clone Wars era, which has become incredibly popular among adult LEGO collectors. And the set includes 2 important minifigures, Captain Rex and Admiral Yularen. Captain Rex alone has huge collector demand. The only downside here is the price. At $650, it's a big investment. But even with that high entry point, projected first-year growth still sits around 42%. For serious investors, this is a strong Ultimate Collector Series hold. Number 7 is one of the more unique picks. LEGO Ideas, Willy Wonka, and the Chocolate Factory. Ideas sets always carry a special advantage. Once they retire, they never come back. This build recreates the Chocolate Factory from the classic 1971 film, complete with the chocolate river, candy plants, and Wonka's office. But the real investment driver here is the minifigure lineup. There are 9 characters, including Willy Wonka, Charlie Bucket, and several Oompa Loompas, and together they represent roughly 2/3 of the set's value. That's huge. Projected first-year growth sits around 43%, and the cross-generational appeal of the film makes this a very strong collector piece. Next up, we have dinosaur fossils, Tyrannosaurus Rex. This is one of the most interesting LEGO releases in years. It's a 3,145-piece, 1:12 scale fossil skeleton of a T-Rex, with fully posable joints and a museum-style display stand. It also includes Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler minifigures from the original Jurassic Park film. And here's what makes this set special. It appeals to two different audiences, LEGO collectors and dinosaur enthusiasts. That broader market tends to create stronger demand. Projected first-year growth is around 44%. For a display model like this, that's excellent. At number 5, we have LEGO Icons The Endurance. This is a detailed replica of Ernest Shackleton's Antarctic exploration ship. It's a stunning display model with 3,000 pieces, full sails, intricate rigging, and removable deck sections. LEGO ships, especially large display models, have historically performed very well. And this one taps into both history collectors and LEGO fans. It's also a huge model at over 31 inches long, which makes it perfect for display. Projected first-year growth sits around 45%. For a set priced around $270, that's a very strong investment profile. This next pick might surprise some people. LEGO City, the City Tower. City sets don't usually make investment lists, but this one is different. It combines multiple LEGO City themes into one massive build, including police, fire, trains, space, and construction elements. There's also a metro station, a spaceship launch pad, and a giant skate ramp. Basically, it's a huge playset with massive variety. At around 2,000 pieces and a $210 price point, it offers strong value. And because it's a unique concept within the city theme, projected first-year growth is 46%. That's unusually strong for LEGO City. Now we get into the top 3. And number 3 is LEGO Batman Arkham Asylum. This set is absolutely stacked with minifigures. There are 16 characters, which include Batman, the Joker, Harley Quinn, Scarecrow, Bane, Poison Ivy, the Penguin, and Killer Croc. It's basically the ultimate Batman villain collection in one set. The modular building design also makes it great for display. And there's even a quirky bonus feature, the 24 numbered bags, which means it can double as a Batman advent calendar. Projected first-year growth sits around 48%. That's extremely strong for a superhero set. At number 2 we have LEGO Marvel X-Men, the X-Mansion. This set includes 10 X-Men minifigures, plus a buildable Sentinel. Characters like Wolverine, Cyclops, Storm, Jean Grey, Gambit, and Magneto. Altogether, the minifigures represent about 64% of the set's retail value. That's massive. And with the X-Men finally entering the Marvel Cinematic Universe, interest in these characters is rising again. Projected first-year growth sits around 48%. For Marvel collectors, this is one of the most important sets in years. And finally, the number 1 investment set retiring in 2026, LEGO Harry Potter Gringotts Wizarding Bank, Collector's Edition. This is a monster set, 4,800 pieces, a spiralling minecart track running through the bank. It also connects directly to Diagon Alley, creating an enormous Wizarding World display. But the biggest driver here, minifigures. There are 13 characters, worth around $195, almost half the set's retail price. Harry Potter collector sets have an excellent investment history, and because this is a collector's edition release, it carries additional prestige and scarcity. projected first-year growth sits around 66%. That's the strongest projection on the entire list. Looking across the entire list, a few patterns really stand out. Firstly, minifigures matter. Many of the best investments here derive a huge portion of their value from exclusive characters. Secondly, large display models perform well. Ships, rockets, buildings, and Ultimate Collector Series Star Wars sets continue to dominate. And thirdly, theme diversity matters. This list includes Harry Potter, Marvel, Star Wars, icons, ideas, Jurassic World, and even Lego City. Strong investment opportunities exist across the entire Lego catalogue. So, there you have it. Investabrick's top 10 Lego investment sets retiring in 2026. If history repeats itself, several of these could start climbing within weeks of retirement. The strategy is simple: buy near retail, store sealed, and let scarcity do the work. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video and subscribe. And I'd love to know in the comments, which Lego set retiring in 2026 are you investing in? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.